I'm like overly stressed about this video. How do I pick 5 things that I would buy if I like had no more makeup? If you don't know the premise of this video, also hi, it's Jessica, it's me, Mario. If you don't know the premise of this video, I'm pretty sure Emily Noel started it. I'll link hers below, and I've seen countless other YouTubers do it, and it's so fun to watch. If you could only keep 5 makeup products, what would they be? So the mindset I used to go into this project was that if I were traveling somewhere and my makeup bag was lost, what would I run to the store and buy first? And you can only get 5. These are my 5. I gotta be honest, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in front of me. I might cheat. The first thing that came to my mind was the most obvious one in the world, and it is the Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream. I wear the shade number 21 and 23. I kind of go between them. The shade range is awful in this, but it is the Balm, and I just apply it with my fingers. It looks gray at first, but it kind of blends in, and it has like perfect coverage if you don't have a lot to cover up, but it still actually has coverage. It's not like, you know, the Glossier skin tint where you're like, I'm just putting like lotion on my face. This like actually covers. I wear this so much. This number 23 is almost gone, and I just got a new one. I actually this time bought it from Yes Style because I was ordering some clothes anyway. Like this shirt is from there. I can link it below. And so I tacked one onto my order. But like, look at that, that's simple. And I don't feel like I have to have concealer, because that was another thing I thought about putting concealer in, but I was like, you know what? If I just grab a little extra of this, kind of tap it in that area, it's gonna conceal enough when I'm in a pinch, or if I only had a few. So I just love this stuff so much. It's like the most I've loved any product ever. And I know I'm being so dramatic, but I love this so deeply. I've just never found another makeup item that performs this way. It's so nice. Anyway, bonus points, because the other thing I thought was, wait, SPF. This has SPF of 42, so I at least feel like I've got some coverage if I didn't have SPF at all on my face. Typically, I still put one on under, but so no concealer, but not too bad. The next thing, and actually this was the other one that was super obvious, brows. I always do my brows. I literally ran in my husband's office. He's like, we share a wall right there. And I was like, hey, if we were in Europe and I like ran out of makeup, what do you think if I ran to the store, what would be the 5 like makeup items I would buy? And he said foundation, lipstick. And I was like, okay. Oh, he said eyeshadow, mascara, and then I kind of coaxed him onto brows. I always do my brows. And he was not right on all of those counts, by the way. He was actually wrong on like 2 of them. So this is the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil in Brunette. It's my favorite. It's quick, it's amazing, it's inexpensive, and I have repurchased this like a million times. We are planning some kind of European trip with our 1-year-old daughter, Genevieve, soon. And we were originally gonna try to go on like a river cruise, and then we realized that she's too young to go on one. Most river cruises in Europe are like age 4 and above, and even then they're like, and we still don't necessarily recommend it. It's usually like European river cruises is usually an adult crowd. It's not, you know, it's not meant for kids necessarily. So we're like, well, so now we're looking at like Norwegian cruises through there, because I'm pretty sure they allow kids above the age of like 6 months and then 12 months. Anyway, but we're also looking into just going to Europe, just, you know, like literally flying there and just visiting a couple of countries. We've done that a couple times and it is always fun, but we've never done it with a 1-year-old. But we've traveled a lot with Genevieve, and she does pretty well on flights. I mean, it's not perfect. She's still a 1-year-old. But we've flown with her a decent amount, but never that long of a flight. So that's the other thing that makes me nervous. But I know people do it. I mean, people do it all the time. And that's the thing I'm trying to keep in my mind, because it really does make me anxious. Like, oh, what if she's crying the whole time? And what do we do? And, you know, because it is a long flight from America to Europe. But we might have some of our family go with us, which I think would bring me a little bit of comfort, just to know that there's more hands on deck. But, you know, before we had her, traveling was important to us. I mean, my husband's channel, we do like regular life vlogs on his channel, Tyler Travels TV, but we travel, and that was kind of where that started. And so we don't want to lose that part of us, and we want her to travel with us. I want her to see the world. And we are lucky to have jobs that we can kind of travel at various times a year that maybe I wouldn't typically be able to, like when I was teaching. Obviously, you're kind of pigeonholed into only traveling at certain times a year. This is where things get dicey, because those were the 2 that instantly came to mind, and I'm like, okay, like even looking in the mirror right now, I'm like, I feel so much more like myself with a little bit of darker brows, a little bit of coverage on my face with some SPF. The other thing I knew that I never leave the house without is mascara. So the one I've been loving now, I could name 5 mascaras right in this moment that I love. I love this Essence Volume Stylist one. I love the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. I love the Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Lashes Volume 2. There are a lot of mascaras I love, but this is just the one I'm currently using and I really, really, really love it. Again, it's like under $5 at the drugstore and it just really lengthens your lashes. It darkens them, it curls them. I prefer to have liner on, but that one was on the chopping block because I was like, I don't have to have it, although I definitely would like to have it. But one thing I've been super into, and I almost use this time, is just using powder eyeshadow as a liner. I feel like you can really smoke the look out and it just looks so soft and pretty, but it still darkens the area, which is all you want. Like for me, when I'm wearing liner, I just want it to darken that area so it all looks a little bit more full and it ends up making my lashes look better more than anything. So I just need that little bit of definition and I do miss that. Like when I just do mascara like this, I miss having liner. So I'm starting to have regret. So mascara is done. And this is the one I almost cut out, but I'm like, Jessica, be real with yourself. You have to have lip balm. Like I go to sleep with the lip balm on. I wake up, put one on. Like I just have to. And my favorite right now is the Laneige Lip Glowy Balm. I have a pear one in my purse. This is the grapefruit one. And I think I have one more in my bathroom. Like I have them everywhere. They're like $15, which is expensive. It's expensive for lip balm, but it's not like as expensive as like a $30 lip balm from like Dior or something like that. So it's kind of mid-range if you think about it that way. And it's just so lovely. It's a lip balm, it's moisturizing, but it also almost looks glossy. So for me, it would work, you know what I mean? It's not that big of a deal to not have a gloss or a lipstick, even though I would love to have one. So this is where I'm like, okay, item number 5, my first thought was highlighter. And I remember watching Guilty Pleasure. Okay, I can hear you judging me, but sometimes I watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians every single time I work out in our basement. So by sometimes, I mean all the time. I know, but I watch it and I don't care. We all have our own guilty pleasures and that's one of mine. Tyler makes fun of me. Anyway, but at one point I remember like, was it Khloe? Maybe it wasn't even in the show. Maybe it was an interview, but Khloe Kardashian, who is by far the funniest Kardashian, she was saying that she loves to just put on like highlight and no blush, no bronzer, because she said it just looks so healthy on the skin. Like she'll even work out and like put highlight on. I'm like, that is awesome. So I was torn because I have a lot of favorites, but I ended up grabbing the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Beauty Light Wand in the shade Spotlight. I still haven't tried the blush versions of these. The packaging is interesting, but it is the prettiest highlight. I love to just tap it right there. Just kind of keep pressing in with your finger until it kind of looks more seamless. But it's so easy. It really does make your skin look healthy. I love to put this on my eye, really the brow bone, but like since today I don't have any eyeshadow, I'm just gonna kind of tap it all over. It might crease because I don't typically put it all over, but I always, when I'm wearing this, I always throw it on the brow bone. I feel like it just looks so pretty. You could tap a little bit on your inner corner to brighten that area. I'll even take some right here. And I feel like the only other thing that I'm like, other than like obvious stuff, like I'd love to have liner, I'd love to have blush and bronzer, but the other thing is powder. Even though I have drier skin and I like dewy looks, I pretty much use powder every single day for like my T-zone, just because a lot of times if I'm wearing a glowy primer and a highlight and all that, it can look like a lot. And so I like to powder my under eye just a little bit on the inner part so it doesn't look so greasy, because I noticed that when I powder it, even though it might look slightly crepey, from about 1 foot away, I feel like you can't see the crepiness and it looks so much better. And I feel like it smooths out that area enough that unless you're 4 inches from my face, you're not gonna see any of that slight dryness from the powder, but it looks so much better overall with powder. I don't know that any of that made sense, but it really made sense in my head. You know, my runner-up was, I really wanted to use the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Pinched. It is my favorite. Y'all, can you see how crisp my hair is right here? Because I have all my like baby hairs from like after having a baby, and they're still not quite reaching where like a ponytail is. And so I have to like crisp them with hairspray just to get them to stay back if I'm gonna wear my hair up, which is why I haven't worn my hair up in a long time. It's a whole to-do to deal with it, so I just don't deal with it. So those are my 5 products. I am so curious, what are your 5 products that if you could only keep 5 or you had to run out and only buy 5, what would you buy? Specifically, what brands, what shades? I know that a lot of people that did this were grabbing like, you know, multicolored palette type things, like, oh, I could do this. But I was like, that's more like the apocalypse, like, but for me, I'm like, if I just had to have 5 quick items that work for me every time that are lovely, these really would be it. I thought about grabbing like a Smashbox Cali Contour Kit. That one is okay, and it has all these different colors, but I'm like, but it's not one of my favorite products, so I didn't want to mention it in this, you know what I mean? And then I thought, well, I could just grab an eyeshadow palette. I could use a shimmery shade as a highlight and maybe a more mauve-y shade as a blush. But I'm like, again, that's not how I would use it in normal life. I wanted to do it the way I would normally do it in real life as well. And I wanted it to be a product that I genuinely love and use all the time. Clearly, these are like 5 of my biggest recommendations I could ever give you, like holy grail, repurchase all the time, love so much. Thank you, Emily Noel, for the idea. Just to share the love, I'll link a couple of my other favorite YouTubers that have done this video down below. If I missed you, I feel like I've literally watched like 15 of these and it's like all my favorites. So I'll try to link as many as I can remember that did it without just like frazzling my brain. I love you all. I hope that you'll subscribe if you did enjoy this video. If you're new to my channel, I'm Jessica. I upload 3 to 4 times a week. I do beauty and lifestyle videos. It's a mix here. I feel like it's like one of those radio stations that like 107.9, The Mix. We play 70s, 80s, and today. It's like, well, now it's like 70s, 80s, 90s, 00s, and today. Like, where's the time gone? I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I just feel like talking to you guys. But hey, stay tuned. I'll be filming a day in the life vlog very soon, and that'll be up within the next probably week. And those are always fun. I love sharing those with you guys. And I actually spend a lot of time on them. I try to do cute sequences with cute music and stuff, so it's not just raw vlog, but it's like actually edited, and I like take the time. So if you've never watched one, I'll link my most recent one I did a few weeks ago down below that I'm really proud of. And of course, stay tuned, subscribe for the one that will be coming in the next week, because if you've never watched one, you might be surprised that you like it. I've mentioned that recently, but it took me a while to get into watching other people's vlogs, but there are certain styles that people like, they'll edit it a certain way, and it's just beautiful and entertaining to watch, and I hope you feel that way about mine. But anyway, I hope you'll subscribe. I'll shut up, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.